Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel KSS Gurukul. Today in this video we will learn the chapter fraction of class 6 math. We have already discussed few topics of this chapter in first part of this video. Now in this second part we will discuss the following topics: comparing like fractions, comparing unlike fractions, comparing like fractions or unlike fractions in other way, addition and subtraction of mixed fractions, addition and subtraction of unlike fractions, addition and subtraction of like fractions. Now come to comparing like fractions. Like fractions have the same denominators. When we compare them, the fractions having greater numerators are greater than the others. For example, 9 by 11 and 7 by 11. Here, both the fractions have same denominators and thus are like fractions. Now, among the numerators, 9 being greater than 7. So, 9 by 11 is greater than 7 by 11. Now let's understand from this example why the like fraction with greater numerator is considered to be larger than other like fractions. This is because 9 by 11 means 9 parts out of 11 equal parts, and 7 by 11 means 7 parts out of 11 equal parts. Thus, 9 parts will always be larger than 7 parts, as in case of like fractions, the parts are equal. Comparing unlike fractions. Unlike fractions have different denominators. First, let's compare two unlike fractions with same numerators. For example, 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. The fraction 1 by 2 has the denominator 2 and 1 by 3 has denominator 3. It implies that in 1 by 2 the whole or 1 is divided into 2 equal parts, and in 1 by 3 the whole or 1 is divided into 3 equal parts, and in both these cases one part is taken. Definitely the parts obtained by dividing the whole into 2 parts will be larger than the parts obtained by dividing the same whole into 3 parts. Thus, here 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3. Now, we can say between two unlike fractions with same numerators, the fraction with larger denominator is smaller than the fraction with smaller denominator. Now, using this method, let's arrange some unlike fractions having same numerators in an increasing order. The given unlike fractions are 3 by 5, 3 by 11, 3 by 2, 3 by 4, 3 by 17 and 3 by 7. They all have the same numerator, that is 3. So, the fractions with larger denominators are smaller than the others. And we can arrange them in increasing or ascending order like this. 3 by 17 is less than 3 by 11, is less than 3 by 7, is less than 3 by 5, is less than 3 by 4, is less than 3 by 2. Also in decreasing or descending order like this. 3 by 2 is greater than 3 by 4, is greater than 3 by 5, is greater than 3 by 7, is greater than 3 by 11, is greater than 3 by 17. Next, we will compare two unlike fractions where both the numerators and denominators are different. For example, 3 by 7 and 4 by 5. To compare these fractions, first we have to convert them to like fractions by changing their denominators. This can be done using two methods. In first method, we first have to get the equivalent fractions of them bearing the same denominators. Now, the equivalent fractions of 3 by 7 are 3 by 7, 6 by 14, 9 by 21, 12 by 28, 15 by 35, 18 by 42 and so on. And equivalent fractions of 4 by 5 are 4 by 5, 8 by 10, 12 by 15, 16 by 20, 20 by 25, 24 by 30, 28 by 35 and so on. The equivalent fractions of 3 by 7 and 4 by 5 with same denominator 35 are 15 by 35 and 28 by 35 respectively, and thus they are like fractions. In second method, we have to find the LCM of the denominators, that is 7 and 5. Then taking the LCM as common denominator, we can change the numerators accordingly and thus convert the unlike fractions into like fractions. Now as 7 and 5 are prime numbers, LCM of 7 and 5 equal to 7 into 5, that is 35. Because we have already known LCM of 2 or more prime numbers is always the multiple of them. In the next step, taking the LCM, that is 35 as common denominator and changing the numerators accordingly, we can write 3 by 7 and 4 by 5 as 15 by 35 and 28 by 35 respectively, and they are like fractions. Here 28 by 35 is greater than 15 by 35 and thus 4 by 5 is greater than 3 by 7. Next, let's discuss comparing like fractions or unlike fractions in other way. To compare the like fractions and also the unlike fractions, we can use the following method. However, this method cannot be used for comparing more than two fractions. Now, let's discuss the steps of this method. First, we have to multiply the numerator of the first fraction with the denominator of the second. Likewise, the numerator of the second fraction is also to be multiplied with the denominator of the first. Next, we have to compare the products of these two multiplications. If the product of first multiplication is larger, then it indicates the first fraction is larger than the second fraction. Likewise, if the product of the first multiplication is smaller, then it indicates the first fraction is smaller than the second fraction. For example, 2 by 3 and 3 by 4. First, we have to multiply the numerator of the first fraction, that is 2, with the denominator of the second fraction, that is 4. With this, we will get the product as 2 multiplied by 4 equal to 8. Next, the numerator of the second fraction, that is 3, has to be multiplied with the denominator of the first fraction, that is 3. And thus, we will get the product as 3 multiplied by 3 equal to 9. Now, 8 is smaller than 9 and thus 2 by 3 is smaller than 3 by 4. Now, addition and subtraction of like fractions. We can add 2 or more like fractions at a time. As we know, the like fractions have a common denominator. We only have to add the numerators and denominator remains the same. For example, 3 by 13 plus 4 by 13 plus 2 by 13. In step 1, we will add the numerators and the common denominator, that is 13, remains the same. That is 3 plus 4 plus 2 divided by 13. And in step 2, we will get the sum, that is 9 by 13. Now, regarding subtraction, only a smaller like fraction can be subtracted from a larger like fraction. For example, 7 by 12 and 5 by 12. Here we can only subtract 5 by 12 from 7 by 12, but not the reverse. That is 7 by 12 minus 5 by 12. In step 1, we have to subtract the numerator of smaller fraction from the numerator of larger fraction, and the denominator will remain the same. That is 7 minus 5 divided by 12. In step 2, we have to get the difference between them, and denominator remains the same, and thus we get 2 by 12. Converting it to its simplest form, we get 1 by 6. Thus, 7 by 12 minus 5 by 12 equal to 1 by 6. Next is addition and subtraction of unlike fractions. First come to adding. We can add 2 or more unlike fractions at a time. But as unlike fractions have different denominators, first we have to convert them into like fractions before we add them. And then the process to add them is same as the addition of like fractions. For example, 3 by 5 and 1 by 3 are the unlike fractions. Now we can convert them into like fractions by two methods. In method 1, first we have to find the equivalent fractions of them. Equivalent fractions of 3 by 5 are 6 by 10, 9 by 15, 12 by 20, 15 by 25 and so on. And the equivalent fractions of 1 by 3 are 2 by 6, 3 by 9, 4 by 12, 5 by 15 and so on. Now among the equivalent fractions of 3 by 5 and 1 by 3, we will take 9 by 15 and 5 by 15 respectively, as they have the common denominator 15 and they are the like fractions. In method 2, first we have to find the LCM of the denominators 5 and 3, which is equal to 5 multiplied by 3 equal to 15. Because 5 and 3 are prime numbers and LCM of 2 or more prime numbers is always the multiple of them. Then taking the LCM, that is 15 as denominator, we can change the numerators of 3 by 5 and 1 by 3 accordingly and get 9 by 15 and 5 by 15 respectively as like fractions. Now we can write 3 by 5 plus 1 by 3 equal to 9 by 15 plus 5 by 15. Next, let's add them applying the method to add like fractions. That is 9 by 15 plus 5 by 15 equal to 9 plus 5 divided by 15. That is equal to 14 by 15. Now subtraction of unlike fractions. Note that only a smaller unlike fraction can be subtracted from a larger unlike fraction. For example, 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5. Step 1 is like the process of addition. First we have to convert the unlike fractions into like fractions, because unlike fractions have different denominators. This can be done by taking equivalent fractions of them or taking the LCM of the denominators as common denominator and changing the numerators accordingly, as we have already discussed earlier. Thus, we get the like fractions 10 by 15 and 9 by 15 as equivalent fractions of 2 by 3 and 3 by 5 respectively. Thus, 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5 equal to 10 by 15 minus 9 by 15. Step 2. The numerator of the smaller fraction, that is 9, is to be subtracted from the numerator of larger fraction, that is 10, and the denominator, that is 15, remains unchanged. That is 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5 equal to 10 minus 9 divided by 15. Step 3. Now we get the difference of numerators, that is 1, and we get 2 by 3 minus 3 by 5 equal to 1 by 15. Next is addition and subtraction of mixed fractions. First, the addition. Mixed fractions have a whole and a fractional part. For example, 3 whole 1 by 2 more plus 2 whole 1 by 3 more. Here 3 and 2 are the wholes and 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 are the fractional parts. Step 1. Now to add the mixed fractions, we have to add the wholes and the fractional parts separately. That is 3 whole 1 by 2 more plus 2 whole 1 by 3 more equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. That is equal to 5 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. Step 2. Now if the fractional parts are like fractions, they can be added using the method for addition of like fractions. And if unlike fractions, then they can be added using the method for addition of unlike fractions. That is 5 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 equal to 5 plus 3 by 6 plus 2 by 6. That is equal to 5 plus 5 by 6. And the answer is 5 whole 5 by 6 more. This is the answer. Then subtracting the mixed fractions. Note that only a smaller mixed fraction can be subtracted from a larger mixed fraction. For example, 7 whole 1 by 2 more minus 5 whole 2 by 5 more. Here 7 and 5 are the wholes and 1 by 2 and 2 by 5 are the fractional parts. Now 7 whole 1 by 2 more is greater than 5 whole 2 by 5 more, as the wholes 7 greater than 5 and the fractional parts 1 by 2 greater than 2 by 5. Step 1. Now to subtract the mixed fractions, we have to subtract the wholes and the fractional parts separately. It is 7 whole 1 by 2 more minus 5 whole 2 by 5 more equal to 7 minus 5 plus 1 by 2 minus 2 by 5. Step 2. Now if the fractional parts are like fractions, then they can be subtracted using the method for subtraction of like fractions. And if unlike fractions, then they can be subtracted using the method for subtraction of unlike fractions. That is 7 whole 1 by 2 more minus 5 whole 2 by 5 more equal to 7 minus 5 plus 1 by 2 minus 2 by 5. That is equal to 2 plus 5 by 10 minus 4 by 10 equal to 2 plus 1 by 10. That is equal to 2 whole 1 by 10 more. This is the answer. Alternatively, we can also convert the mixed fraction into improper fractions and subtract them. For example, 5 whole 2 by 5 more minus 3 whole 1 by 2 more equal to 27 by 5 minus 7 by 2. Now, if the fractional parts are like fractions, then they can be subtracted using the method for subtraction of like fractions. And if unlike fractions, then they can be subtracted using the method for subtraction of unlike fractions. As here the fractions are unlike fractions, we have to change the denominators of both as 10. and get the like fractions 54 by 10 and 35 by 10. That is 27 by 5 minus 7 by 2 equal to 27 multiplied by 2 divided by 5 multiplied by 2 minus 7 multiplied by 5 divided by 2 multiplied by 5. That is equal to 54 by 10 minus 35 by 10. Now subtracting the numerators, we get 54 by 10 minus 35 by 10 equal to 19 by 10. This is the answer. But as it is an improper fraction, we have to convert it to mixed fraction. That is 1 whole 9 by 10. This was all about this chapter. Thank you for watching. To get more updates about this subject, please subscribe our channel KSS Gurukul.